Appropriations on the Appropriation Act 2020 Amendment Bill SB 950. You may recall that the bill for the Act to amend the Appropriation Act 2022 in the sum of 106,161,499 naira 50 kobo only for capital expenditure and 43.8 billion for the current expenditure was read the first time on Tuesday, 15 February 2022, when the President of the Senate read the communication from the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, when the bill was forwarded. The Senate read it the second time on Wednesday, the second day of March 2022, and referred saying to the Committee for Further Legislative Action after the debate on the general principles. Mr. President, the Senate may also recall that the 2022 Appropriation Bill was passed into law by the National Assembly on Tuesday, the 21st December 2021, in the sum of 16,391 billion, and was assented to by the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federation, Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, on Friday, the 31st day of December 2021, after having some concern on the Act. 2. Objective of the bill. Fundamentally, the bill seeks, among other things, to make additional provision of the sum of 2.55 trillion to fully fund the petrol subsidy in the year 2022, and the reinstatement or restoration of budgetary costs made by NAS from key capital projects in the 2022 proposed budget by the executive arm in the sum of 106,161 million. And the current expenditure in the sum of 43,370 million. And to also delete all projects that were thought to have been duplicated in the 2022 Budget Act, and so on and so forth. Legislative action. Considering the circumstance and the nature of the amendment sought, and the fact that the committee was mandated to report on the bill within 1 week, the leadership of the Senate and the House of Representatives committees on appropriation consulted with the National Assembly leadership, as well as held several meetings with the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning in all aspects of the request. And what I present today, or what I'm presenting now, is the outcome of the interaction. The committee processed the bill together with House of Representatives counterparts, and what is here before you as a report is a harmonized report of the two committees of the both chambers. Revenue projection. In processing the request, the committee was also guided by the approved amendment to the revenue projection by the National Assembly as contained in the table below, which is before you. I don't need to read that. You may permit me that I don't need to read that. Number 6, additional request for inclusion in the appropriation bill. While considering the bill, the Senate received a letter from Mr. President, which was read on Tuesday, the 12th day of April 2022, requesting for additional funds for inclusion in the amendment as follows. 1, an additional increase of 1 billion to the sum of a trillion, to the initial sum of 2.5 trillion sought for payment of petroleum motor spirit. Sorry, it's not billion, it's trillion. PMS, following the decision of the executive arm of government to suspend the initial decision of the executive arm of government to suspend the removal of the subsidy in 2022. Number two, additional provision of 8.45 billion to cater for the needs of Nigerian police force, to enhance their morale. Also, three, the aggregate increase sought by the executive is 192.52 billion. However, the executive also requested for reduction in statutory transfers of some agencies totaling 6.07 billion. 66.07 billion. Recommendation. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, in line with the aforementioned, the committee recommends the amendment of the 2022 Appropriation Act as follows. A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation, the total sum of 17,319,704,091,019 naira only, of which 817,699,410,210 naira only is for statutory transfers. 3,978,110,437 naira only is for debt service. 7,108,621,131,849 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 5,415,206,438,523 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for capital expenditure for the year ending on the 31st December 2022. Conclusion, Mr. President. On behalf of the committee, I wish to thank the leadership and indeed all the distinguished senators for the support that was given to the committee during this assignment.